Now, after extending this challenge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a warning. Okay? So before we translate, before we do this thing, I want to translate one more time to understand the warning here. The warning is says, Allah says, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا. And if you tried this, you took my challenge, and if you tried, gather the people and sit down in a room and say, let's try to write something which looks like the Quran. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا. And if you could not do it, if you could not do it.
And you cannot do it.
And then he further says, وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا. This is a very powerful statement. This is a very powerful statement from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, and you will never be able to do it. If you tried and you could not do it, and I'm telling you, you will never be able to do it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is extending the challenge with a warning, then you better watch out. Okay? Allah says, فَاتَّقُوا النَّارِ. And fear a fire. Then be fearful of a fire. Taqwa means fear. Be fearful of a fire. Allati, that fire. Waquduha, whose fuel, the fuel of that fire, is An-nas, the people, and Al-hijarata. Al-hijaratu is the plural of hajar. Hajar means stone. So the fire that will be burning in the hell, its fuel will be stones, and stones take a lot of heat to burn. Stones don't burn at a lower temperature, like a piece of wood. You have to have a very, very, very extremely hot fire to burn a stone. And on top of that, when people will be put in the fire, how much hot that fire will be. So Allah says these are the two things which are going to be the fuel of that fire, people and stones. Okay? And then Allah says, Uiddat, this fire has been prepared. Uiddat means prepared. Lil kafirin, for those who disbelieve or do kufr with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's look at these words here. فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا. So let's look at this word here again. Fa and lam. This means to do. Okay? If we put a ta in the beginning and vuna at the end. Okay? Ta in the beginning and vuna at the end. And we keep the three letters in the middle. Fa, ayn, and lam. Okay. And pronounce it taf'aluna. Taf'aluna. This brings the meaning of you do. Present tense and second person plural. Taf'aluna means you do. Okay, so now keeping this word, taf'aluna, now let's look at the ayat. Fa means then. Okay. Next word is in, means if. Then if. Okay. Now, let's look at this word lam. Lam has some characteristics. First of all, lam means not. Lam means not, but this is not simple not. It does something with other words. When it comes before a word like this, taf'aluna, okay? Taf'aluna means you do, or you are doing, okay? When lam comes before this word, it does two things. It drops this noon at the end, okay? And it modifies the meaning a little bit, okay? So it drops the noon, so it becomes taf'alu. Okay? And the meaning becomes could. Instead of definitely doing something, possibility of doing it. Okay? So when I put after this word taf'aluna, first thing will happen, that noon will drop, taf'alu, and whenever we drop a noon, we put an alif wiqaya, which we don't recite, that's for writing, and the meaning will be could, instead of do, could do. Okay? So the concept of, like in English we have could or would, will come here. Okay? Lam will do that. Okay? So meaning will be, if you could not do it, if you tried, and if you could not do it, it's a challenge. If you could not do it, lam taf'alu, you could not do it. Okay? So the meaning will be then, if you could not do. Could not do means you could not make a surat like this. Okay? Now, there is another word, lan. Lan has a different concept. So let's look at the word lan. So the word in between is wa means and. Okay? And lan means never. La means not, lan means never. Okay? When lan comes after a word like that, this also drops the noon, but the meaning is you can never do. Okay, so it will be lan taf'alu, lan taf'alu, you never do, or you can never do. Okay. So lam and lan have these meanings. One brings the concept of could, and one can then never can do it. Okay. So this is still not, but this is never, and this brings the meaning of could and can, or will be able to do it. You can never do it, or you will never be able to do it. Okay? Walan taf'alu, and you can never do it. Can never do it. So if that is the situation, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاتَّقُوا النَّارِ. Okay, so let's look at that word. So the word is narun. Narun means fire. Narun means fire. If I put al before that, al means the, so it will become the fire. But what al does, al changes to the mas into one, so it will become al naru, but when you pronounce the noon here, noon will kill the sound of lam and it will become an-naru, the fire. So this will be written like, lam has no sound, so noon has a shadda, an-naru, the fire. An-naru means the fire. Some special fire, the fire. Okay? The fire of hell. Okay? Now the word before that is fa means then, And the word is ittaqu. Ittaqu is from taqwa. Taqwa means to fear. Ittaqu is a command. Fear. Ittaqullah. In every Friday, the Imam says in the khutbah, Ittaqullah. Fear Allah. Okay? Here it is Ittaqun nar. Fear the fire. Okay? So Ittaqu means fear. And when you read fa, then you do not pronounce this alif here. You say fattaqu. And then you continue pronouncing fattaqun nar. Then fear the fire. Okay.
Because of the grammar, because the third one which got the who has got a dhamma, should it not have been uttaku instead of?
No, ittaqu. Ittaqu.
All of the excrement, all of the armor.
It is not it goes to a different bab. The root letters are waw, kaf, and ya.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, but bab ifta'ala is the one that you have to bring from there. So ittaqu, and it will become fattaqu. So now again, the word is, there is a verb here and there is a noun here. So when a noun comes after the word, the last letter changes to a fatha, so it becomes nara. Okay, that's what word in the Quran. Fattaqun nara, and fear the fire. Okay? And allati means that, or her. Okay, so when you read, you continue narallati. The word is nara and allati, but you recite narallati. So fear the fire, that which. Okay, and let's look at the words after that. So next word is waw, kaf, and dal. Okay. Waqudun. Waqudun means fuel. Waqudun means fuel, something that is used to burn something, is a fuel. And ha means her or it. Okay. Waqudun. So when you combine these, it will be pronounced waquduha. Its fuel. Who is it here? The fire. The fuel of the fire. Waquduha. Its fuel. Okay. Its fuel. Waquduha, the fuel of it or fuel of her, which is the fire. Okay. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there are two things. Insun. Insun means a person. Okay. And hijrun means a stone. Insun means a person and hijrun means a stone. Okay. Its plural is nasun. Nasun means pupil. this is hijaratun. Hijaratun means stones. Okay. So both of these plural. Nasun, people. Hijaratun, stones. Okay. Now, if you put al before that, the pupil. And you put al there, it becomes the stones. Okay. So when you put al, two dhammas are pronounced as one, so it becomes al nasu. But again, it will be, because of the noon, la will not be pronounced, it will be an-nasu. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. We don't, not al. Okay? So that's the word in the Quran. An-nasu, the pupil. Okay? And same thing when you put al, one dhamma remains there. So it becomes al-hijaratu, the stones. So an-nasu, wa, and al-hijaratu, the stones. The pupil and the stones. And the stones. Okay. Now the next word is ain, dal, and dal. Adada. And we know adad means counting, to do some counting, right? This is a Bab Fa'ala, 3 letters. In Bab of Allah, we put an alif, ain, dal, and dal. This means to prepare. Alif or Hamza and dal in this bab means to prepare, to get ready. Okay? And the word oiddat means she has been, when you see a tie there, it's a feminine. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alat, she did. So oiddat means she is prepared. She has been prepared. Who is she here? The fire. So we will not say she, but we will say it has been prepared in English. So oiddat is pointing to that fire. That fire has been prepared. Oiddat means has been made ready. It is, instead of she, it is prepared. Now the last word, it starts with these letters, kaf, fa, and ra. This means to reject or disbelieve. To kafara, to do kufr, to reject or to disbelieve. And the person who does this is called kafirun. Put an alif between first and second letter, sajidun, abidun, ghafilun, kafirun, means a disbeliever. A person who does not believe is a disbeliever. Then when you put al before that, al brings the meaning of the. Okay. So this, and you will lose a dhamma, so this will become al-kafiru. Al, you can write down like that, al-kafiru. Okay. The disbeliever. Okay. The disbeliever. And when you put a Waw and Noon, it becomes a plural. Al-kafiruna, the disbelievers, those who disbelieve. So the word is al-kafiruna. Okay? So I'm going to write this one more time here, because one more change will take place. So the word is al-kafiruna. Al-kafiruna, the disbeliever. Okay? Now, if I put a lam with a kasra before that, li means for. Okay? Li means for. We say alhamdulillahi, for Allah. So lam with a kasra. Now also notice that when we put the word was Allahu. The word was Allahu. When we put li before that, it became lillahi. This means lam is a harf jar. It changed Allahu to Allahi with a kasra, right? So we're doing the same thing. We are putting li before the word al-kafiruna. Okay? Now this word wuna here is like a dhamma here. So this li will change to like a kasra, which is like a ya. So this word now is going to be kafirina. That's what the word is in the Quran here. Okay? Kafiruna will change into kafirina because of this lam. If lam was not there, then it will remain as kafiruna. Qul ya ayyuhal kafiruna. The word kafiruna is the plural. It stays kafiruna. But the effect of this harf jar changes kafiruna to kafirina, meaning is still same, the disbelievers. Okay? But by the rule of harf jar, its pronunciation changes to kafirina. Okay? So it has been prepared for the disbelievers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this fire that has been prepared for those who disbelieve, you fear that fire because its fuel is going to be people and the stones. Okay. So that is the challenge and the reply of the challenge, that you will never be able to make a Quran or a surah or a few ayats. In other places, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this place is challenging about one surah. In some other places, it says make only 10 ayats of a surah, a small number of a surah. Those challenges have been also put in place. Oh, now, so when you read this, you do not pronounce this alif, so you make it lil. Yeah. So you do in tajweed, li al-kafirina will be pronounced as lil kafirina, and that's the reason this lam is going to combine with this lam. Okay? So inshallah we'll stop here and continue next time.
Exactly. Okay. Surah